When you open your eyes in the morning, the first thing that determines how you feel the rest of the day isn't your breakfast, your workout, or even your mindset. It's light. Most people have no idea how powerful those first few minutes of sunlight can be for your hormones, your brain, and your longevity. Think about it, you've just spent 7 or 8 hours in darkness, your body completely disconnected from external cues. The very first signal your body receives after waking decides how your metabolism, mood, and energy will perform for the next 24 hours. If that signal comes from your phone screen or a cup of coffee, your system gets confused. But if it comes from natural sunlight, you flip on the biological switch that tells every cell in your body, it's morning, let's start healing, energizing, and burning fat. Your body operates on something called the circadian rhythm, a built-in clock that runs every single process from sleep to digestion to hormone release. This rhythm depends on light exposure to stay synchronized. When you expose your eyes and skin to natural sunlight, especially in the first 10 minutes after waking, your brain's master clock, located in the hypothalamus, receives a signal through the optic nerve. This light triggers a cascade of biological reactions that balance cortisol, serotonin, and melatonin. Cortisol gives you alertness and motivation to move, while serotonin lifts your mood and becomes melatonin later in the day, helping you sleep deeply at night. One simple act, stepping outside into the morning light, sets that whole system in motion. People over 60 especially need this because the aging body produces less melatonin and has a weaker cortisol rhythm. That's why many seniors struggle with low energy, poor sleep, and brain fog. They often blame age, but it's not always age, it's light deficiency. Most of the day is spent indoors under artificial bulbs that never replicate the full spectrum of the sun. Without that full spectrum, your mitochondria, the power generators inside your cells, start to slow down. They rely on natural light signals to regulate energy production. When those signals are missing, energy declines, metabolism slows, and your immune function weakens. The sunlight you get in the morning is like charging your biological battery. Imagine this: you walk outside barefoot on the grass if possible, and let the soft light of sunrise touch your face. In just 120 seconds, your brain increases serotonin, your eyes receive blue light wavelengths that calibrate your internal clock, and your mitochondria start generating more ATP, the molecule your body uses for energy. You're not just waking up, you're aligning yourself with the rhythm that nature designed for you. This is why people who start their mornings outdoors tend to have better sleep quality, stronger immune systems, and a sharper mind as they age. Now, here's a hook that might surprise you. Missing this morning light exposure can mimic the symptoms of mild depression. When your brain doesn't get enough natural light early in the day, serotonin stays low, melatonin gets confused, and your sleep cycle becomes disrupted. That's why you might feel tired in the morning yet restless at night. The fix isn't another supplement or sleeping pill. It's the sun. You could spend hundreds on anti-aging creams or energy drinks, but nothing compares to the biological power of light on your skin and eyes. When you're over 60, your eyes become less sensitive to light because the lens thickens with age. That means you actually need more light exposure than you did in your 20s or 30s to trigger the same hormonal response. 2 to 5 minutes may work for younger adults, but if you're over 60, aim for 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight. If it's winter or cloudy, still go outside. The natural light intensity, even on a cloudy day, is 10 to 20 times stronger than the light inside your house. That's enough to keep your circadian clock in sync and your hormones balanced. Let's talk about cortisol for a moment. Most people think cortisol is just a stress hormone, but it's actually your natural get up and go hormone. It should be highest in the morning and lowest at night. But here's the problems. If you start your day scrolling through news, social media, or emails, you spike cortisol artificially at the wrong rhythm. Over time, this leads to adrenal fatigue, belly fat, and energy crashes by afternoon. Sunlight, on the other hand, gives you a gentle, natural cortisol rise that energizes you without stress. It tells your body it's time to be awake, alert, and productive. Then as evening comes, cortisol gradually drops, allowing melatonin to rise naturally, leading to deep restorative sleep. That's how your body is meant to function. Calm energy in the morning, deep rest at night. There's also a metabolic benefit here. Early morning sunlight exposure helps regulate insulin sensitivity. Studies have shown that people who get sunlight within an hour of waking tend to have lower blood sugar levels and better metabolic health. The reason is simple: your circadian rhythm controls insulin receptors in your liver and muscles. When you reset that rhythm with light, those receptors become more responsive, making it easier to burn fat and maintain stable energy. So yes, getting sunlight can actually help with weight control and longevity, without any extra effort. And let's not forget about vitamin D. While it's true that you produce more vitamin D from midday sunlight, early morning light still primes your skin's ability to synthesize it later. It's like telling your body, prepare to absorb and use sunlight efficiently. Think of this morning exposure as a biological warm-up for the rest of the day's sunlight. Even just a few minutes can make your body more efficient at converting UV rays into usable vitamin D when you get more sun later. Many people ask, can I just sit by a window? The answer is no. Glass blocks the essential UV and infrared wavelengths that your body needs to trigger the circadian and hormonal effects. You need direct outdoor exposure. No sunglasses, no windows, just pure sunlight. If it's cold outside, step out bundled up, but leave your face and eyes uncovered. That's where the receptors that communicate with your brain are located. What's beautiful about this routine is that it costs nothing, it's effortless, and it's universal. You can live in any country, be any age, and still benefit. The key is consistency. Doing this once in a while won't transform your health, but doing it daily will. Within just 1 week, you'll start noticing changes, clearer thinking, steadier energy, and more restful sleep. Within a month, your mood will stabilize, your body will feel more balanced, and you'll wake up with genuine vitality. It's not magic, it's biology returning to its natural state. If you're looking for a single, powerful morning ritual to add decades to your life, start here. Before coffee, before screens, before breakfast, step outside and let nature wake you up. Those rays of light are more than warmth, they're information. They tell your body how to heal, how to function, and how to age gracefully. You'll find that when your mornings start with the sun, every part of your day and every part of your health begins to rise with it. When you wake up in the morning, your body isn't just tired, it's dehydrated, mineral, depleted, and in desperate need of cellular restoration. You've gone 7 or 8 hours without water, sweating and breathing out moisture all night long. The first thing most people do is grab coffee, thinking it will wake them up. But here's the truth: caffeine on an empty, dehydrated system is like trying to start your car without oil. It creates stress, not energy. What your body truly needs first thing in the morning isn't coffee, it's electrolytes. And not just plain water, but mineralized hydration that recharges your cells from the inside out. If you're over 60, this becomes even more critical because as you age, your body loses its ability to hold on to electrolytes like magnesium, sodium, and potassium. That's why you might wake up feeling dizzy, tired, or lightheaded. It's not always age, it's an electrolyte imbalance. Every single cell in your body relies on electrolytes to generate electrical energy. These are not just simple minerals, they are the power lines that allow your nerves to fire, your heart to beat, and your muscles to move. Imagine your body as an electric circuit. Electrolytes are the current that keeps the lights on. Without enough of them, you start your day in an energy deficit, no matter how much you sleep. That's why one of the most powerful yet overlooked longevity habits is rehydrating properly when you wake up. A simple glass of warm water with sea salt and lemon can do more for your energy than any supplement or vitamin you could buy. When you drink plain water in the morning, it may quench your thirst for a moment, but it doesn't enter your cells efficiently. The body needs sodium to pull water into the cells and potassium to keep it there. Without that balance, the water you drink just passes right through you, leaving you just as dehydrated. That's why many people drink water all day long, but still feel dry, tired, or sluggish. The trick is to balance your water with minerals. Adding a small pinch of sea salt gives you sodium and trace minerals, while a squeeze of lemon provides potassium and natural electrolytes. Together, they create the perfect environment for your cells to rehydrate and function optimally. The science behind this is simple, yet fascinating. When sodium and potassium are balanced, they create a voltage difference across your cell membranes known as the sodium-potassium pump. This tiny molecular pump is what drives nutrients into cells and pushes waste out. It's how your body creates energy at the most fundamental level. Every heartbeat, every muscle contraction, every thought depends on this electrical process. If that balance is off, your cells can't communicate properly, your metabolism slows, and your energy crashes before the day even begins. Replenishing electrolytes in the morning recharges this system instantly, giving your body the spark it needs to run efficiently all day long. Let's take it even deeper. After 60, your adrenal glands, tiny organs that sit above your kidneys, often become weaker due to years of stress, caffeine, and sugar. These glands regulate electrolytes, especially sodium. That's why many people over 60 experience fatigue, salt cravings, and low blood pressure. Drinking an electrolyte-rich drink in the morning directly supports your adrenals. It helps them rebalance your mineral ratios and produce the hormones that control energy and stress response. Instead of forcing your body awake with stimulants, you're supporting it naturally. You'll notice that within minutes of drinking this, your alertness improves, your brain feels clearer, and your heartbeat feels stronger yet calmer. Now, let's address a common mistake people make. They drink flavored electrolyte drinks or sports beverages thinking they're doing something good for their body. But most of these products are loaded with sugar, artificial colors, and chemicals that do the opposite of what you want. Sugar spikes insulin, causes inflammation, and makes you even more dehydrated in the long run. The goal here is not to flood your body with sweetness, it's to restore the pure minerals your body actually uses. You don't need fancy powders or pre-mixed drinks. You just need a small pinch of sea salt, half a lemon, and clean water. Nature provides everything required to restore balance. You just have to use it. If you want to take it to the next level, you can add a trace mineral drop or a little apple cider vinegar. The vinegar provides acetic acid, which helps your body absorb minerals more efficiently. Together, this mixture wakes up your metabolism, balances your blood sugar, and primes your digestive system for the day. You're not just drinking water, you're sending a biological signal that it's time for energy production to begin. It's like pressing the reset button on your internal power grid. Here's a powerful hook to think about. Your brain is 75% water and highly sensitive to dehydration. Even a 1% drop in hydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, brain fog, and mood changes. So when you wake up and go straight to caffeine, you're dehydrating your brain even further. That's why so many people feel that mid-morning crash. They think they need more coffee, but what they really need is water with minerals. Within minutes of rehydrating properly, your brain function improves dramatically. You think clearer, focus longer, and your mood stabilizes naturally. No crash, no withdrawal. Electrolyte hydration also plays a vital role in muscle and joint health. As we age, our connective tissues lose elasticity and become more prone to stiffness. One major reason is dehydration at the cellular level. When your cells lack proper hydration, your joints lose their lubrication, and your muscles can't contract or relax efficiently. That's why you might wake up with stiff knees or sore shoulders. Proper electrolyte balance allows your body to retain fluid in your joints, keeping them flexible and pain-free. You're literally oiling your body from the inside out every time you hydrate correctly. There's another hidden benefit to morning hydration that most people overlook: detoxification. During sleep, your liver works hard to filter out toxins, and your lymphatic system collects waste from your cells. When you wake up, those toxins are waiting to be flushed out. Drinking mineral water with lemon helps stimulate bile flow and kidney function, allowing your body to release that waste efficiently. Think of it as a morning cleanse that doesn't require fasting or supplements. You're simply completing the detox your body started overnight. Many people notice that once they begin their day with electrolytes instead of caffeine, their energy stays steady throughout the morning. They're not jittery, they don't crash, and they feel genuinely awake. That's because they've fueled their cells, not just their nerves. Caffeine tricks your body into borrowing energy you don't have, but electrolytes rebuild the energy you need. Over time, this habit strengthens your metabolism, improves digestion, and supports cardiovascular function. When you create this small ritual every morning, mixing warm water, sea salt, and lemon, you're not just hydrating, you're starting your day with intention and biological precision. You're honoring what your body truly needs before the chaos of the day begins. You'll notice that your cravings decrease, your focus sharpens, and even your skin begins to glow. Hydration shows up in your vitality, your energy, and your presence. If there's one change you could make tomorrow morning that would have an immediate, visible impact on your health, it's this: replace your first drink of the day with electrolyte water. Don't underestimate how something so simple can create such powerful shifts. Within days, you'll notice more consistent energy, better digestion, clearer thinking, and even a lighter mood. This is not a quick fix, it's a foundational correction. You're rebuilding the electrical system of your body one morning at a time. So tomorrow, when you wake up, before you reach for your phone or coffee, pause. Take a breath. Mix your water, add that small pinch of sea salt, squeeze that fresh lemon, and drink it slowly. Feel it nourish you. It's more than hydration. It's your body's first message of the day. I'm alive, I'm recharged, and I'm ready. That's how powerful a single glass of water can be when you give it the right chemistry. When you wake up and start moving, even just a little, something incredible happens inside your body that most people completely overlook. Your blood begins to circulate more efficiently, your lymphatic system wakes up, and your joints start producing synovial fluid, the natural lubrication that keeps them flexible and pain-free. This is why the first few minutes of your morning are not just about getting out of bed, they're about sending your body a powerful biological signal. We're alive, and it's time to move. Most people over 60 feel stiff, sore, or sluggish in the morning and think it's simply age catching up to them. But in reality, that stiffness is your body's way of saying, I've been still too long. The body was not designed for long periods of immobility. It was designed to move, to circulate, to breathe deeply. Gentle movement in the morning doesn't just loosen your muscles. It activates every major system that keeps you alive and youthful. The moment you start to move, your muscles act as pumps that help your blood carry oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. Your heart doesn't do all the work on its own. It relies on muscular contractions to support circulation. This is especially important for the lymphatic system, which doesn't have its own pump like the heart does. The lymphatic system is your body's built-in detox network, clearing out waste, dead cells, and toxins. It only works when you move. So when you start your day with motion, you're literally turning on your body's natural cleansing system. Even 5 minutes of gentle stretching or walking in the morning helps clear out metabolic waste from your tissues, leaving you feeling lighter, cleaner, and more energized. Here's the mistake many people make: they think movement has to be intense to be effective. They believe they need to break a sweat or lift heavy weights to make it count. That's not true, especially after 60. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to awaken your system. Think of it as an internal tune-up. You're not training for a marathon. You're priming your body to function optimally all day. Gentle movement tells your nervous system, we're safe, we're strong, and we're ready. It lowers cortisol, balances your autonomic nervous system, and prepares your body to handle physical and mental stress better. There's also a hidden neurological benefit. When you move your body first thing in the morning, you activate something called proprioception, your body's awareness of itself in space. This improves balance, coordination, and brain function. It reduces your risk of falls, sharpens your reflexes, and even enhances cognitive clarity. There's a direct connection between your muscles and your brain through the nervous system. When you move, you're not only exercising your body, you're stimulating your brain. It's one of the most natural forms of neurotherapy you can do daily without equipment, supplements, or medication. If you're over 60, the morning is the most critical time to move because that's when circulation is at its slowest. Overnight, your blood flow decreases, your body temperature drops, and your joints stiffen due to inactivity. If you start your day without moving, that sluggishness can linger for hours, making you feel older than you actually are. But just a few minutes of light stretching or deep breathing changes everything. Oxygen floods your cells, your heart rate gently rises, and your body temperature normalizes. This process tells your metabolism to wake up and start burning fuel efficiently. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment. You just need intention and consistency. Here's a powerful image to remember. Picture your blood as a river. When you're sleeping, that river slows down. The moment you move in the morning, you're breaking the ice, letting the current flow freely again. Every part of your body, from your brain to your toes, depends on that flow to stay healthy. Poor circulation is one of the silent causes of fatigue, pain, and inflammation as we age. By simply moving, you restore that circulation naturally without medication or stimulants. Deep breathing is another key part of this process. When you pair movement with conscious breathing, you amplify the benefits dramatically. Most people breathe shallowly, especially in the morning. Shallow breathing limits oxygen delivery and keeps your nervous system stuck in a low energy state. When you inhale deeply, through the nose, expanding your diaphragm, you send oxygen into every cell and signal your body to shift from survival mode to energy mode. This is what athletes and yogis understand so well: breath is life. Even a few minutes of coordinated breathing and movement can reset your entire physiology. If you're wondering what kind of movement to do, think of it as mobility rather than exercise. Stretch your neck, roll your shoulders, rotate your spine gently, bend your knees, open your hips, move your joints through their natural range of motion. These small actions tell your body, I still need you, I still use you. The body responds by keeping those joints strong, those muscles supple, and those nerves alert. It's like sending an activation signal to every part of your body, reminding it to stay alive and vibrant. One of the biggest hooks here is that movement actually acts like medicine for your mitochondria. These tiny power plants inside your cells generate the energy you need to live. As we age, they become sluggish and less efficient, leading to fatigue and slower recovery. Movement in the morning jumpstarts mitochondrial activity, boosting ATP production, the molecule that fuels every cellular process. That's why even 5 minutes of light stretching can leave you feeling more awake than a cup of coffee. You're literally charging your body's batteries. The mental benefits are equally profound. Morning movement increases blood flow to the brain, boosting focus, creativity, and memory. It stimulates the release of endorphins, your natural feel-good chemicals, and reduces stress hormones like cortisol. You feel calmer yet more alert, focused but not anxious. That balance is what most people spend years trying to achieve through medication, but your body was designed to do it naturally. When you move, you give your brain the environment it needs to perform at its best. You may not realize this, but gentle movement also influences digestion. When you start your morning with motion, you activate the muscles of your digestive tract. This helps stimulate peristalsis, the natural wave, like contractions that move food through your system. It's a simple way to prevent bloating, constipation, and sluggish digestion, all common issues after 60. You're literally telling your gut, wake up, it's time to work. Combined with hydration and sunlight, movement creates the perfect foundation for your body to function smoothly throughout the day. The key to making this work is consistency, not intensity. Your body loves rhythm. It thrives on repetition. Doing the same simple routine every morning creates a pattern that your nervous system remembers. After a few weeks, your body will start craving that morning motion. You'll find yourself waking up with more energy, less stiffness, and an eagerness to move. It becomes a habit, not a chore. And once that habit locks in, it becomes your foundation for longevity. You can make this practice deeply personal. Some people prefer slow stretching to soft music, others enjoy walking outside and letting nature guide their rhythm. Some may include light yoga poses or Tai Chi movements to engage balance and flexibility. The form doesn't matter, the consistency does. What matters is that you're sending your body a daily message of vitality and resilience. You're teaching it that movement is still a priority, that you're still strong, capable, and alive. And here's something truly fascinating: this kind of movement also trains your immune system. The lymphatic system, which carries immune cells throughout your body, depends entirely on muscle contractions to circulate. When you move, you're actually mobilizing immune cells, increasing your body's ability to fight infection and heal tissue. In other words, every stretch, every step, every deep breath you take in the morning is strengthening your immunity at the cellular level. When you see it this way, morning movement isn't just physical, it's medicinal. It's the most natural, powerful, and free therapy you can give yourself daily. And what's amazing is how quickly it works. Within minutes, your mood shifts, your posture straightens, and your energy rises. You feel alive again, not from external stimulation, but from internal activation. You're not forcing your body to perform, you're allowing it to remember what it was designed to do: move, circulate, and thrive. So tomorrow, when you wake up, resist the urge to stay still or rush into your day. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to stretch, breathe, and walk. Feel your joints loosen, your blood flow strengthen, and your body come back online. This is how you turn aging into vitality. One morning, one movement, one breath at a time. What you choose to eat or not eat first thing in the morning determines whether your body spends the rest of the day burning fat or storing it. Most people wake up and immediately reach for breakfast, thinking it's the healthiest way to start the day. But if you're over 60, the traditional breakfast habit may actually be accelerating aging, spiking insulin, and turning off your fat-burning metabolism. The truth is, your body doesn't need constant feeding, it needs hormonal balance. And the best way to achieve that is by controlling insulin, your body's most powerful fat, storing and aging hormone. Every bite of food, especially carbohydrates or sugar, has an impact on insulin. When you start your morning with toast, cereal, or even fruit juice, your insulin levels rise sharply. You might feel a quick burst of energy, but what follows is a crash, a mid-morning slump, cravings, and fatigue. This constant up and down pattern trains your body to depend on sugar for energy instead of burning fat, making it nearly impossible to lose weight or maintain steady energy as you age. Intermittent fasting changes that completely. By delaying your first meal and allowing your body to extend its natural overnight fast, you're teaching it to tap into stored fat for energy instead of relying on glucose. It's not deprivation, it's restoration. When insulin remains low, your body can finally access the energy reserves it's been storing for years. The first time you try it, you may feel hungry at your usual breakfast hour, but that's not a real energy need, it's a conditioned habit. Within days, your body adjusts and your energy actually rises because you're running on a cleaner, more stable fuel, your own fat. For people over 60, this is a game changer because insulin resistance tends to increase with age. Fasting or eating a low-carb, high-fat breakfast resets your metabolism and gives your cells a chance to repair themselves instead of constantly digesting. Here's a powerful way to understand this: your body has two main modes: growth mode and repair mode. When you eat, especially carbs, insulin rises and the body switches to growth mode. That's fine when you're young, but constant growth mode without repair leads to inflammation, fatigue, and accelerated aging. When you keep insulin low through fasting or smart nutrition, your body switches to repair mode. In this state, something remarkable happens: autophagy. It's the process where your body literally cleans out damaged cells, recycles old proteins, and rejuvenates tissues. Think of it as spring cleaning for your body at the cellular level. It's how your system gets rid of debris that contributes to aging, disease, and inflammation. And it starts when you skip that traditional breakfast or keep it low in carbs and high in healthy fats. If fasting feels intimidating, you don't have to jump into long hours right away. Start by pushing your first meal back an hour or two. Let your body wake up, hydrate, move, and stabilize before feeding it. When you do eat, make sure it's nutrient-dense and low in sugar. Eggs, avocados, wild-caught salmon, olive oil, or a handful of nuts are far superior to cereal or toast. These foods provide steady energy without spiking insulin, keeping you full for hours. The beauty of this approach is that it's simple, sustainable, and deeply healing. Over time, you'll notice that your cravings fade, your energy stabilizes, and your mental clarity improves dramatically. Now, here's a fascinating biological truth most people never hear: your mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your cells, function best when they get a break from constant eating. Every time you eat, your mitochondria have to process nutrients and produce energy. But constant feeding overworks them, creating oxidative stress and cellular wear and tear. By allowing fasting windows, you give these mitochondria time to rest and repair. This keeps them efficient and resilient, which is crucial for longevity. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting not only improves insulin sensitivity, but also increases mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new, healthy mitochondria. So, in essence, by delaying breakfast or choosing the right one, you're rebuilding your body's energy factories. People often say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and they're right. But not in the way it's usually understood. The most important thing is what you eat and when. If you start your day with foods that spike insulin, you're programming your metabolism for fat storage. If you start your day with healthy fats and proteins, or even better, delay eating until your body signals true hunger, you're programming it for fat burning. Your first meal should stabilize your blood sugar, not destroy it. Imagine your metabolism like a campfire. If you throw on paper and twigs, sugar and refined carbs, you'll get a quick flame that dies fast. But if you use logs, healthy fats, the fire burns steady and strong all day. Here's another hook. Controlling insulin isn't just about fat loss, it's about brain health. High insulin levels have been linked to cognitive decline and memory issues, sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes. By reducing insulin through fasting or low-carb eating, you protect your brain from insulin resistance, inflammation, and oxidative damage. That's why people who fast often report sharper focus, better recall, and improved mood. The brain loves ketones, an energy source produced when fat is burned, instead of glucose. Ketones are a cleaner, more stable fuel that enhances mental clarity and resilience. When you eat a high-carb breakfast, you might notice you're hungry again 2 or 3 hours later. That's because insulin not only stores fat, but also prevents fat from being used as energy. It's like locking away your fuel supply and throwing away the key. The only way to unlock it is by lowering insulin. Once insulin drops, your body starts burning fat naturally, even while you're sitting at your desk or going for a walk. That's why intermittent fasting and low-carb eating aren't just diet trends. They're metabolic tools for longevity. They train your body to become metabolically flexible, able to switch between glucose and fat as needed. That flexibility is the hallmark of a youthful metabolism. For people over 60, controlling insulin also means protecting muscle mass. High insulin combined with frequent eating often leads to muscle loss and fat gain. But when you fast strategically and consume enough protein during eating windows, your body preserves muscle and burns fat instead. You maintain strength, stability, and vitality without sacrificing energy. Combine that with gentle morning movement, and you create a powerful synergy between muscle activity and metabolic health. You might be wondering if skipping breakfast slows your metabolism. It doesn't. In fact, it enhances it. When your body becomes efficient at burning fat, your metabolism stabilizes. Your energy doesn't crash because your body always has a steady source of fuel, its own fat stores. This is why people who adopt fasting routines often feel more awake, more focused, and even happier in the morning. Their bodies are no longer fighting the blood sugar roller coaster that drains energy and mood. Here's the practical approach. Start your morning with water and electrolytes instead of food. Move your body gently. Wait until your body feels genuinely hungry before eating your first meal. When you do eat, make it count, nutrient-dense, balanced, and low in carbs. Eggs cooked in butter, avocado with olive oil, or smoked salmon with greens are perfect options. You'll feel satisfied without the crash. If you're fasting, a cup of black coffee or green tea is fine. They help suppress appetite and boost fat burning. Just don't add sugar or creamers that raise insulin. This isn't about restriction, it's about rhythm. You're aligning your eating pattern with your body's natural hormonal cycles. In the morning, cortisol is high, and your body is already mobilizing energy. Adding food then forces insulin up unnecessarily. By waiting until cortisol drops later in the day, you eat when your body is truly ready to process nutrients efficiently. It's a way of working with your biology, not against it. If you start doing this consistently, you'll notice something remarkable. Your hunger becomes predictable, your energy becomes steady, and your relationship with food becomes peaceful. You stop chasing energy through snacks and caffeine because your body knows how to generate it naturally. That's what metabolic freedom feels like. And once you experience it, you'll never want to go back to the old way of eating. When you control insulin, you control aging, you stabilize blood sugar, protect your brain, improve heart health, and allow your body to regenerate on a cellular level. This is how you build longevity from the inside out, not by adding more food or more supplements, but by giving your body the time and space it needs to heal. The morning hours are sacred for that process. By fasting or eating smart, you're not depriving yourself, you're unlocking the body's most powerful healing mechanism. Every single morning, before your body even takes its first full breath of the day, your mind begins to set the tone for everything that follows. What you think and feel in those first few minutes determines the chemistry that will shape your mood, energy, and even your immune system. Most people don't realize that your thoughts are not just abstract ideas. They are biochemical signals. They literally tell your body how to function. If you start your day worrying, scrolling through negative news, or rushing into stress, your brain releases cortisol and adrenaline. That chemical cocktail puts you into survival mode, raising blood sugar, increasing inflammation, and aging your cells faster. But if you start your morning with gratitude, just a few moments of mindful appreciation, you send a completely different message to your body. You tell it, I am safe, I am content, I am alive. And your chemistry responds instantly. Gratitude is not just a spiritual practice, it's deeply biological. When you express gratitude, the brain releases dopamine and serotonin, two neurotransmitters that are essential for happiness, focus, and motivation. These are the same chemicals many antidepressants try to increase artificially, but your body can produce them naturally through gratitude. Think about that. By simply focusing on what you have instead of what you lack, you are creating a biological shift that improves mood, energy, and even longevity. The brain's reward system lights up when you feel grateful. It reinforces positive behaviors and literally rewires neural pathways to make gratitude easier over time. That means the more you practice it, the more your brain starts to look for good things, even in difficult situations. This is one of the most powerful forms of self-healing available to us, and it costs nothing. Here's something fascinating. Gratitude actually lowers inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of aging and disease, from arthritis to heart disease to Alzheimer's. When you're in a constant state of stress, your immune system stays on high alert, producing inflammatory chemicals that damage tissues. Gratitude, on the other hand, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and repair mode. This lowers heart rate, relaxes muscles, and reduces stress hormones. It's like flipping a switch from chaos to calm. When you begin your morning with even 1 minute of intentional gratitude, your body immediately begins producing healing chemistry. That's how powerful it is. Now, I know it might sound too simple. Can something as small as saying, thank you, really change your health? But science proves it can. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, and better sleep. They also have higher levels of heart rate variability, a key indicator of resilience and longevity. Gratitude improves how your brain communicates with your heart through the vagus nerve, synchronizing your emotional and physical state. This means when you feel grateful, your heart and brain literally start working in harmony. You become calmer, more focused, and more balanced. That harmony is what people often describe as peace or centeredness. It's not an abstract feeling. It's physiological alignment. Here's a simple morning exercise I recommend. Before you touch your phone, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think of 3 specific things you're grateful for. It could be your health, a relationship, your ability to move, or even the sunlight through your window. The key is specificity. Don't just say, I'm grateful for life. Say, I'm grateful for the strength in my legs that carry me every day, or I'm grateful for the warm cup of tea I get to enjoy quietly before the world wakes up. Specific gratitude activates the emotional centers of the brain more deeply, producing stronger neurochemical effects. Within seconds, you'll feel calmer and more focused. When you practice gratitude regularly, something extraordinary happens to your perception of time. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop rushing through mornings and start experiencing them. That shift alone can transform how your entire day unfolds. When your morning starts in peace, your nervous system stays regulated. Your body digests food better. Your immune system functions more efficiently, and your hormones stay balanced. You don't need more supplements or stimulants. You need more stillness and appreciation. That's the real foundation of wellness. There's another fascinating link between gratitude and aging. When you're grateful, your brain produces more oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Oxytocin not only strengthens emotional connections, but also protects your heart by reducing blood pressure and oxidative stress. It promotes the release of nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. That means gratitude literally helps your arteries stay flexible, reducing the risk of cardiovascular problems. So, in a very real sense, gratitude is anti-aging medicine for your heart. It keeps your biology young by keeping your emotions balanced. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Gratitude enhances sleep quality. Many people over 60 struggle with insomnia or restless nights, often due to elevated cortisol levels. Practicing gratitude in the morning and again before bed lowers cortisol and increases melatonin production. Your body finds its natural rhythm again. You sleep deeper, repair better, and wake up more refreshed. Over time, this simple emotional practice builds a strong foundation for physical health. The body follows the mind, and the mind follows attention. So when your attention is directed toward what's good, your body follows with healing. There's also a connection between gratitude and longevity that most people overlook. Gratitude increases telomerase activity, the enzyme that protects your DNA from shortening. Telomeres act like caps on the ends of your chromosomes, And when they shorten, aging accelerates. Stress, anger, and resentment cause telomeres to wear down faster. But gratitude and compassion protect them, literally slowing the aging process at the genetic level. Think about that. Every time you feel genuine appreciation, you're protecting your DNA from damage. You're not just changing how you feel, you're changing how your body ages. Another powerful effect of gratitude is how it influences your hormones. It lowers cortisol, increases DHEAs, a youth hormone, and balances testosterone and estrogen naturally. That hormonal balance plays a major role in how you feel and function after 60. When you're stressed, your adrenal glands are constantly pumping out cortisol, draining your body of energy. Gratitude interrupts that cycle. It tells your brain, we're safe now. The body responds by calming the adrenals, restoring hormonal balance, and improving energy levels throughout the day. Most people wake up and focus on what's missing, the pain, the bills, the to-do list. But your body listens to that. It creates chemistry to match your thoughts. If you start your day with tension, your muscles tighten, your digestion slows, and your immune defenses drop. But if you start your day with gratitude, your physiology mirrors that too. Your blood flow improves, your digestion strengthens, and your muscles relax. You literally begin to breathe differently. This is why people who practice gratitude consistently often report fewer aches and pains, faster recovery, and higher overall vitality. Here's another hook: gratitude sharpens your focus. When you practice appreciation, you train your brain's reticular activating system, the filter that determines what you notice. You begin noticing opportunities instead of problems, solutions instead of obstacles. That subtle shift transforms how you handle challenges, which reduces stress even further. And when stress goes down, healing accelerates. Your morning gratitude becomes a mental filter that defines how your entire day unfolds. Many people underestimate the compounding power of this habit. 1 minute of gratitude a day doesn't just change your morning, it changes your biology long term. It builds neural connections in your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision making and emotional control. The more you practice, the stronger those pathways become. It's like exercising a muscle, but this muscle controls your peace, your resilience, and your joy. Over time, this changes how you respond to life. You stop reacting and start responding. You become calmer, wiser, and more centered, no matter what happens around you. Some people think gratitude is something you do after life gets better, but it's actually the cause, not the effect. Gratitude makes life better because it shifts perception, and perception shapes reality. When you're grateful, you attract more stability and positivity because your brain is attuned to it. Your relationships improve, your energy rises, and your body starts to heal. It's not magic, it's biology responding to focus. So each morning, take that quiet moment before the noise begins. Feel your breath, feel your heart, and consciously direct your mind to something you deeply appreciate. You don't need a perfect life to be grateful. Gratitude is what makes life feel perfect, even in its imperfections. And when you start your mornings with that kind of awareness, you don't just feel better, you function better. Your brain, hormones, and immune system align with that positive chemistry. It's one of the simplest yet most profound longevity practices available to you. Because when your thoughts produce healing chemistry, your entire body responds with life. The real secret to longevity isn't found in doing extreme routines for short bursts of time, it's in consistency. Most people believe that if they just push hard for a few weeks, they'll finally see results. They start a strict diet, a workout challenge, or a detox, and for a moment they feel motivated. But then life happens. Stress creeps in, schedules shift, and before long, they slip back into old habits. What they don't realize is that their bodies don't need perfection, they need rhythm. The human body thrives on predictable patterns. Your hormones, your metabolism, your sleep cycles, they all depend on consistency. It's not the one big change that transforms your health, it's the small things you repeat every single day. Imagine your body as an orchestra. Every system, your heart, brain, liver, and muscles plays a part. But if the rhythm is off, the entire performance sounds chaotic. Consistency is the conductor that keeps everything in harmony. When your mornings follow a stable pattern, when you wake, hydrate, move, and nourish your body the same way each day, your internal systems begin to synchronize. Your cortisol levels stabilize, your energy rises at the right times, and your sleep becomes deeper. You no longer feel like you're fighting your body, because now it's working with you. The body loves predictability. It's built to function through cycles. Just like the sun rises and sets, your biological clock expects regular cues to regulate metabolism and repair processes. Here's the problem. Our modern lifestyle disrupts that natural rhythm. We stay up late, eat at random times, skip meals, or overload on caffeine to force energy. That inconsistency confuses your hormones. Cortisol spikes at the wrong times, melatonin production drops, and insulin fluctuates wildly. The result: fatigue, cravings, mood swings, and premature aging. But when you anchor your days with small, consistent habits, your body begins to regain balance. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to do it regularly. That's the difference between short-term motivation and long-term transformation. Think of it this way. If you exercise intensely once a week but stay inactive the rest of the time, your body won't adapt. But if you walk for 15 minutes every morning without fail, your cardiovascular system improves, your joints stay flexible, and your metabolism strengthens. The same applies to nutrition. Eating perfectly for a few days and then indulging the rest of the week doesn't balance out. But choosing clean, whole foods most of the time, day after day, reprograms your taste buds, stabilizes blood sugar, and builds real vitality. Consistency turns effort into identity. Once something becomes part of who you are instead of something you force yourself to do, it no longer requires willpower. That's when change becomes permanent. Here's the hook: the human body doesn't respond to intensity. It responds to frequency. Your cells don't care how extreme your effort is for a day, they care about what you do every single day. Repetition signals the body to adapt. When you wake up and expose yourself to sunlight at the same time, your circadian rhythm resets. When you hydrate every morning before caffeine, your adrenals regulate more efficiently. When you fast daily within your chosen window, insulin sensitivity improves. These repeated cues tell your body, this is the new normal. Over time, that normal becomes health. There's also a deeper neurological reason consistency is so powerful. Every habit you repeat strengthens neural pathways in your brain. It's called myelination, the process by which your brain coats these pathways with fatty insulation, making them faster and more automatic. That's why at first, starting new habits feels hard. You're literally building new wiring. But after a few weeks of repetition, it becomes effortless because the brain has locked it in. This is why consistency beats motivation every time. Motivation is emotional, it fades. But consistency rewires your brain to operate on autopilot. You no longer have to convince yourself to do something because it becomes a natural part of your day. When you think of longevity, think less about doing more and more about doing what matters consistently. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to master small, powerful habits and protect them. Go to bed at the same time. Wake up at the same time. Have a consistent morning ritual: hydration, movement, sunlight, and gratitude. These are not complicated actions, but they compound. Just like investing a little money regularly grows exponentially over time, your small daily choices compound into powerful health dividends. The older you get, the more consistency matters. After 60, your recovery slows down, your hormones change, and your body becomes less forgiving of chaos. Structure becomes your ally. Now, let's talk about energy. Many people over 60 say they feel drained throughout the day, blaming age. But it's not age, it's inconsistency. Your body can't maintain steady energy when you send mixed signals. If you eat breakfast at 6 a.m. one day, skip it the next, stay up till midnight, and then wake early, your body never knows what to expect. Your metabolism becomes erratic, your hormones misfire, and you feel constantly tired. But when you stick to a predictable rhythm, your body learns to anticipate energy needs. It prepares enzymes, hormones, and digestive acids at the right times. Your energy rises naturally without needing caffeine or naps. You begin to feel a steady hum of vitality throughout the day instead of peaks and crashes. Here's another fascinating truth: your stress resilience depends on rhythm. The body can handle stress remarkably well, as long as it's not constant or unpredictable. When you follow consistent habits, your nervous system feels safe. It doesn't need to stay on high alert. Your parasympathetic system, the one responsible for healing and recovery, becomes dominant. That's when real regeneration happens. Your digestion improves, inflammation decreases, and your immune system strengthens. Inconsistency keeps your body guessing, but consistency keeps it grounded. Let's take a real-life example. Think about someone who commits to walking 20 minutes every morning for a year. They'll experience massive benefits: stronger heart, better metabolism, improved mood, without ever doing anything extreme. Now compare that to someone who does intense workouts for 2 weeks, burns out, and quits for months. The first person wins every time because their body adapts to predictability. The second person constantly resets, never allowing progress to take hold. This applies to everything from sleep to eating to mindset. Longevity isn't about how hard you push, it's about how long you sustain. Consistency also affects your emotional stability. When you wake up and follow the same pattern daily, your mind feels anchored. You eliminate decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion that comes from making too many small choices. You stop asking, should I exercise today? Or what should I eat? Because it's already decided. Mental clarity frees up space for creativity, focus, and calm. Over time, this reduces anxiety and mental clutter, both of which are major energy drainers. Simplicity is the foundation of consistency, and consistency is the foundation of peace. There's a biological rhythm called homeostasis, the body's drive to maintain internal stability. Everything in your system works toward that balance. But when your lifestyle constantly fluctuates, homeostasis becomes harder to achieve. Consistency gives your body the foundation it needs to stay in equilibrium. Think of it as giving your biology a reliable schedule to follow. When you honor that rhythm, your body rewards you with stability in every aspect: energy, weight, mood, and even longevity. The key is to find habits that are sustainable for you. It doesn't matter if they're small. In fact, the smaller they are, the more sustainable they'll be. A 5-minute stretch, a glass of water with minerals, a 10-minute walk, a moment of gratitude. Done every day is far more powerful than an hour-long workout done once a week. Health is built in the details repeated daily. You don't have to do it perfectly, you just have to do it consistently. Here's the hook. The difference between someone who ages quickly and someone who stays vibrant into their 80s isn't genetics. It's rhythm. It's the person who has a structured morning, who eats mindfully, who moves regularly, who goes to bed at the same time. That rhythm preserves hormonal balance, protects mitochondria, and supports brain function. It's the quiet consistency that turns into lasting youthfulness. People often ask me, what's the best supplement for longevity? And I tell them, consistency is the ultimate supplement. No pill can replace the power of disciplined rhythm. Your body doesn't forget repetition. It builds on it day after day, silently adapting. That's why small habits practiced daily are infinitely more powerful than bursts of effort fueled by motivation. Motivation fades, but structure endures. If you want to add decades of quality life, stop chasing intensity and start honoring consistency. Because when your mornings, meals, movement, and mindset follow a rhythm, your body finds peace, and in that peace, it finds healing.